Planning a trip can be stressful. You know you want to travel, but where do you want to go? Do you travel by plane or by car? How expensive will it be? When will I get the best deal? Luckily, there's a way to help, and it's called the scientific method. Let's say you want to fly to Ireland, but you want to make sure that you get the cheapest flight. To start, you'll have to do some research. You've heard from your friends that purchasing flights set to depart in the middle of the week are usually cheaper. Could it be true? Next, formulate your hypothesis. I think that flights are cheaper Tuesday through Thursday. Next, you'll test that theory. You'll check the airlines for prices each day for each week for 2 weeks. Your friend travels all the time, and she says it's always worked for her, and all the research suggests that the same is based off of what you've seen, so everything checks out. Now, 2 weeks later, with all of your data, what did you find? Is the middle of the week really cheaper? If so, buy those tickets. If not, it's okay. Keep testing. Now, it may surprise you, but physics is all around us, and especially when we travel. Now, 2 months later, bags packed and tickets in your hands, you jump in the car and head to the airport. Remember how I said physics is all around us? That car you're driving is using physics. The car utilizes the wheel, which provides a smooth and steady motion. In a given state, it's capable of both potential and kinetic energy, which are dependent on mass and speed. Sitting in the garage, potential energy. Driving down the highway, kinetic. Newton's laws of motion are at work here, as well as the mechanical force of acceleration, action, reaction, and inertia. Now, once you're on the plane, we have other forms of physics at play. We're all subject to gravity here on Earth, and planes are no different. Using lift and forward momentum created by the plane's engines, much like the car did, they manipulate physics in a similar way as birds do, by creating lift through wing shape and the wing's angle, both serving to alter airflow, raising us into the skies. Now, Ireland is far from here in the States, which makes it necessary for us to use proper calculations and positioning in the sky so we avoid other planes, weather, and make it to our destination safely. We do this by using GPS, or global positioning satellites, which are another instrument of applied physics that use Einstein's special and general theories of relativity. Another example would be your cell phone. They both use this by taking radio signals from multiple satellites orbiting the planet and calculate your position with an accuracy of a few centimeters. Satellites are moving both high above the ground and at an immense speed, which in turn can cause the signal to be altered ever so slightly. Don't worry, the plane in your cell phone adjusts for this using Einstein's theories. Yes, physics is relative, but without it, we'd all be very lost on our way into the skies, not to mention Ireland's many, many pubs. Now, once you've landed, you've seen all the sights, the pubs, the people, and maybe even kissed the Blarney Stone. The one thing that you need to do, in my opinion, is try the food. On my own trip to Ireland, the food was by far my favorite part. Everything is freshly grown, the beef is tender, and the breakfast is amazing. A little different than the States, sure. We don't have blood sausage in the States, but one anecdote that made me laugh was at this bed and breakfast we stayed at in Cork. My mother was putting jam on her toast, and the caretaker Marie came up and asked her, "What are you doing?" It took my mother off guard for a moment, and she said, "Putting jam on my toast." Apparently, this isn't a thing over in Ireland, and we all had a laugh about our own country's different customs. But in the moment with my mother's toast is yet another example of physics, and in this case, quantum physics. You see, in order to make toast, you need a toaster, and it's the red-hot coils being heated up inside of it that are quantum physics in action. When these coils heat up, they turn a reddish color, and they emit light in the process. Now, Ireland is a beautiful place, and I highly recommend anyone to check it out for themselves if they get the chance. But if Ireland doesn't take your fancy, find somewhere else to go. And when you do, be on the lookout for physics you see while you're there. They may just surprise you.